Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Well, no, it's afternoon, isn't it?
Afternoon, isn't it?
Welcome to Card Connection.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure I've got everything that I need here.
This morning on my computer.
Things are slow this morning on my computer.
Let's see if I am where I am supposed to be. Let's see. Yes, that's me. Allow. It wants to make sure that I'm the one that's trying to get into my account. Don't you love it when it does that? Alrighty. I wanted to be able to take a look at my yes. I wanted to be able to take a look. I have every idea that it may be real slow with getting other folks into my where's my shortcuts? There I am. It may be a challenge to get other folks into my live today because I'm on at the wrong time, the wrong day, and all that good stuff. I had obligations yesterday, and so I couldn't get on at 10 o'clock like I try to do. But I thought I would at least pop in today and say hello. Okay. I see me over here. Alrighty. I'm Teresa Marsh. Now that I've spent 2 minutes of your time doing nothing, my name is Teresa Marsh. I'm an independent stamp administrator coming to you from North Carolina, which is towards the east coast of the United States. I'm excited to see some of the different things that are available today. Today I wanted to work with you and share some really simple designs and card for Father's Day. We're going to be using the Trusty Tools Stamp Set. Hello. There we go. It was not working the way it was expected. Okay, Trusty Tools Stamp Set. This one's been out a little while, but quite frankly, I just got it. Excuse me a minute. I'll have to call you back. I'm on live at the moment. Okay. So much for remembering to put the phone on mute. It was a landline. You can't just take it off. It'll go beep at you forever. But anyway, this is the Trusty Tools Stamp Set. We're gonna do a quick card. I've already done all the most of the cutting ahead of time. But I wanted to do just enough so that you would know what to do with it. We're gonna use a basic beige card base, and I cut this one at 4 1/4 by 11. Now you're going to score it. Obviously you're going to score it at 5 1/2, but you're also going to score it at. Let's see, how far do we score it? Yeah, 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So you're going to score it for the halfway. Whoops, wait a minute. 2 3/4 and 5. So you're scoring it basically 5 1/2. This 5 1/2 strip. This 5 1/2 strip here scored in half, if you will. Then we're going to take and turn it this way. We're going to place it at the 1 inch mark on the right. And the 2 3/4 inches mark there. And we're going to cut down to that. And then we're going to put it at the 1 inch mark there. And cut. All right. So we have two cuts and a piece there. Alrighty. To give credit where credit is due, this design came straight from Dawn Griffith. She is a fantastic card maker. She makes great designs. we're going to cut these little tabs off the side. There we go. There we go. So we have our card. And we have this tab. Okay. All right. So we've got the 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 2 3/4 and at 2 3/4 and at 5 1/2. All right. We have 2 pieces of designer series paper. This comes from the Timeless Plaid designer series paper. It's the 6x6 that came out in the mini catalog this past season, but now available in the online exclusives. And this is 2.5 by 4, and I cut two of those. All right. Two of those. I cut a couple pieces of old olive because it goes so well with paper. And these are 2.5 by 4.5. And then a couple pieces of basic white, which are 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I think my paper cutter, I need to put new blades on my paper. I'm getting fuzzies. I'm getting some fuzzies here. Sometimes when you get the fuzzies on there, if you have it, you can get just an emery board, and just very lightly hit those fuzzies. Can you see those fuzzies there? I guess you can't see them very well there. I didn't have to tell you about them at all. I should have pretended they weren't there, and you'd have never known the difference. But my perfectionism would have known the difference, and that's just kind of the way I roll. My perfectionism certainly shows its head, so to speak. All right. Now we're going to start by gluing the designer series paper. We're going to glue it here. Let's see. Yeah, everything just slide on into my space here. We're going to glue it here. This Tombow glue is wonderful because it gives you lots of what they call open time. In other words, the glue stays wet for a little bit, so you can slide your piece to put it exactly where you want it to be. And that can be a huge help. So we're going to glue that one on the outside and this one on the inside. And we can slide it around to get it centered where we want it. All right. So we have that. And that's going to be our card base. Now these are going to be a couple of inside and outside messages, and they're going to be put together this way, with the old olive behind. So we're going to start with the front. And on the front, we're going to use old. I'll do both of them really as we go. But anyway, this is the front first. And I put this together kind of based on how Dawn did a Father's Day card for this particular design, but I didn't have all the same things she did. So I'm going to do this with old olive ink. There's Dad, the great big old Dad. And I'm putting it in the lower right corner. Now that will lighten up some as it dries. It'll look greener. It looks almost black right now. And the other thing I wanted to put on here in the old olive was, "You're the most awesome." I'm going to put that at an angle, show a little bit more movement, if you will, on the front. I have to work hard to make everything lined up, orderly, all that good stuff, because it's my nature to do that. So, but that's not necessarily the most attractive. Now, on the inside, I'm going to put Happy Father's Day. Just in the middle, right there. All right. Okay, that's something that... Another thing you could put on the inside is You're the Most Awesome. But I'll put it on the outside already, so I don't need it on the inside. Now, I'm going to put my old olive away. I want to make sure this is pretty dry. Because I'm going to put some other stuff on top of it. This has turned out so neat. I'm so tickled with this. I've got so many different pieces. This is the basic. This is basic beige. This is basic beige. That's all. Let me get my stamp cleaner out, because I am definitely going to need to move some things. I think I'll start with my measuring tape. And I've got it. Like I said, this is just basic beige. I'm just going to stamp it right here. So it's kind of looks like kind of a shadow behind that. Done great. Isn't that great? And then I think I'll just let's see here. I'm just trying to do too many things at once. I think I will put the pencil. Because you know, Dads, they're going to measure things, and they're going to make the marks on stuff like that. So there's the pencil. And clean that off. And how about some nuts and bolts over here? Those are a little bit more solid than these, but they will soften up a little bit. All right. Now I don't think I'm going to want any more nuts and bolts. But let's get exciting here. Let's put. This is for the dad. That's always making things happen. As far as around the house. They're painting things. They're fixing things. They take care of things. Those are some of the best dads to have around, aren't they? We're going to put that paintbrush right there. Wash it off. And of course, you can't be a handyman dad without a solid good hammer, right? I don't think this is going to fit. I can only make it so side goggle. So let's just let it hang off the end. There we go. You can tell what it is, right? Okay. And last but not least, we're going to fill that last bit in with a wrench. All kinds of tools to take care of what's needed around the house, huh? There we go. I just really like the way this basic beige played behind the old olive to make it look like such a great background paper. You know, I just really liked it. All right. Now, let's see what we can do here. It's going to go on the inside. This one's going to go on the outside. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put that background old olive on this piece. You're the most awesome dad. Awesome dad. What dad wouldn't enjoy getting this card, right? It wouldn't be a good card for that. But the dads in my experience have always been good with tools. Though I know that there's lots of guys that aren't. But anyway, for the dad that's good with tools, this is perfect. All right, that's for the inside. This is for the outside. Now, here comes the fun unfold part. We are going to put the ink on this tab piece. Ink, glue. I bet you knew what I meant, didn't you? We're going to put the glue only on that tab piece. We're going to put that flat, and then we're going to line this up right with the edge. And there's a little bit hanging off. We can fix that. It's amazing how closely we can cut things and still have that little bit to trim away. But these paper snips are awesome for that. They are so sharp and so nice. Perfect. And see, that's going to open that way. So we're going to have this fully loaded, if you will. It's going to have glue all over the back of it. But we want it to hide under that one when it's closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to hold this right behind it with the glue facing towards the rest of the card. Okay. Center it on there and then close the card over it. That should line it up perfectly. Let's take a look. Thank goodness for glue giving you a little bit of open time. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that upside down? That is so funny. Just goes to show you don't have to have it all together and do it all right in order to be a good card maker. Of course, I guess maybe I'm not a good card maker. Let's try this again. Okay. All right. I got it lined. I got it right set up now. Okay. Let's try this again. This is so funny. This is so funny. Oh my goodness. And I don't have anybody watching with me to enjoy the humor. There we go. It's better. Oh my goodness. You're the most awesome dad. And I'll be honest with you, there really does need to be some bling on, not bling, some embellishments on this. It needs some embellishments, but I have not checked it. I've got some retired things, but we don't want to be retired. I know. Let's see. Don't want to go metallic gems because that's like way in your face. I mean the ones that are current are. The ones that are current are bright. I'm looking. Oh my goodness. I suppose I could. What do I have this on the last chance list at least instead of okay. This wouldn't be bad. This is This is at least last time I looked. I haven't looked again to see if this is on the last chance list. This was Shimmer Tones from the holiday catalog this past winter. And we could put these semi-dark ones. They're not really dark, but the green is too bright. See, the green is too bright. But these kind of vanilla ones pretty well. Not be too glamoury, not too glamorous. Okay. Put one here. And we'll go ahead and use big ones because this plaid is big. Okay, 1, 2, 3 there. And maybe a little bit on the inside too. But we will put it back here. And we will use these darker ones. They look a little bit like copper. They're not, but they look a little coppery. There we go. You're the most awesome dad. There you go. Honestly, the ones that I have that are retired that work the best. I need to look. But anyway, I have these rustic metallics. They would have been perfect. But they've been retired a little while. So that's what the little red dot means in my cabinet or in my container. Helps me know what I'm grabbing and whether it's current. Alrighty. Now I do have. Hold on a second. Let me look real quickly at this and see if it's still available. 1640770. Wake up, computer. There we go. Okay. Yes, these are still available on the last chance list. All right. Now's a good time to be shopping. Last chance or whatever. Particularly if you're looking for something in one of the sweets. Because right now we have a buy one get one half off thing for sweet products. It's a little. You have to wrap your head around how they're doing it. Because if you buy an item from a sweet and another item from a sweet, one of those will be half off. Okay. But if for instance you're buying a sweet and then one item from another sweet, that little one item is going to be half off. So it's half off of the less expensive item. I took advantage of it by buying two sweets that were comparably priced, so that one of them has half off a whole sweet. And that makes it work really well for you. So anyway, that's our current deal as far as sales items are concerned. And let's see, what else did I want to be sure to share with you? Let's see what. I don't recall. That's terrible. I do not recall what the current signing joining bonus is. But I do know that even the basic computer. I keep going into the spins here. So we used the Trusty Tools Stamp Set. The Trusty Tools Stamp Set 101 in the annual page 101 in the annual catalog. We used the timeless plaid paper for that accent piece on the front and the back. We used cardstock that was basic beige, and we used some olive for accent, and we used the old olive classic ink for our ink color. So those are the basic things that we used. That you have enjoyed today's card. I hope I will be able to see some comments from folks. Check it out later. I've enjoyed hanging out with you this morning, and I'm sorry I missed our connection yesterday. So keep in mind that if there's anything that you need to connect with me, you can email me at Teresa@sassystampingwiththeresa.com. If I can help you as a demonstrator, if you're not working with somebody already, I would love to help you out if there's something that you need as a demonstrator. And if you just want to make a connection and build your community, feel free to drop me a line. I'd love to get to know you a little bit. I pray for my friends, and I pray for my customers. And most of all, I pray that each one of us will grow better connected in a positive way, using cards and kind words. Have a good day. I was glad to pop in and see you today. And I hope to see you next week on Thursday. Bye.